What's up, fishing friends? Welcome back into the office. As you can tell, we are not on the freaking water, and it don't look like we're gonna be on the water anytime soon because we are iced in. So far this winter, at least since pretty much Christmas, the entire month of January has pretty much sucked. So that's why I'm talking to you guys about wintertime fishing, because if I can't fish, might as well talk about it and hopefully teach you guys something. Cold water's not my big thing. Like, I'm not crazy about it, but I don't hate it. I have a couple baits that will get you bit when you get into that upper 30s, low 40s. You can flat out catch them with these baits. These are cold water killers. And, you know, people know about them, but they're not necessarily known as cold water baits. But man, these suckers are dang effective in cold water. And the first one is, ta-da, a Ned rig. Now, I'll throw this on a spinning rod, 6'8", 6'10", somewhere in there. Medium heavy on the Ned rig is what I typically go with, because I'm doing a lot of dragging. Oops. Just to show you how good the paint is on the Ned head from Hogstalker Jigs. No chips. No chips, guys. I've fished some before that if you just look at it and say the word rock, the paint falls off of it. These here hold up pretty dang good. Now, I got a couple baits I like to use on my Ned head that are just killers in cold water. And one is this puppy right here, and this is a Missile Baits quiver. This bad boy's got that little flat tail on it. I like to bite it down, make it a little shorter. And what I'm doing is I'm casting this thing out into those little staging areas that those fish are setting up in the wintertime, little rock shelves that are in a little shallower water, 6 to 8 foot or so, and they drop off into the deeper water closer to the channel or closer to the main ditch of a pocket. That's where I'm going to be looking for these fish at. Cast that Ned rig out there, let it go to the bottom, and just little short hops. Or I will flat out drag it like a daggone Carolina rig to an extent, but most time just little short hops. So that's one bait I put on it. Now I'll show you my absolute favorite bait to put on it, especially if I start seeing pinchers getting spit up when I flip fish in the boat or whatever. I've got two baits here I love to fish on it. Grab one here, and this is another Yum plastic here. And this is just their little crawdad bait. Get that threaded on there. There we go. Look at that little dude right there. Now, ain't that just the prettiest little crawdad you ever did see? Now, I got him rigged backwards right now. He actually goes the other way. Get him back off her. Now, look at that little cat right there. That looks so natural, and the fish just cannot help but bite it. So that is my all-time favorite to throw on the Ned rig in cold water when they really get down and they're wallowing on the bottom. That dude right there, pretty hard to beat. Okay, that's the first one, Ned rig. Number two, and this one here is a banger, as the kids say. Is that what they say? I think that's what they say. And I just ordered these in off Tackle Warehouse. I just got some of these bad boys in, caught some fish on them in the fall. I like this bait in the 40s, 30s is a little cold for it for me, but anything in the 40s. That right there, Storm Wiggle Wart. Phantom brown crawfish is the color that I like. Got that little orange painted on the bill. Not necessary if you, you know, this is the deeper one here, and it doesn't have it on there. But this here's my favorite color to throw, and one of my favorite cold water crankbaits. Pretty tight wiggle, got some rattles in it, makes a little racket, deflects off of cover, unbelievable, rolls off of cover, really pitches and rolls really, really well. And this is a fish freaking catcher. I did not realize how good this was until the last couple years. I've had one in my box forever. Wiggle Wart is fire. That's what the kids say. Yeah, maybe, something like that. But anyway, that's number two. Lots of different colors. I typically stick to a crawfish pattern because I'm throwing that thing out there slow reeling it. Get it down to depth. Slow reel it. And I want that thing to just be counting through the rocks, just ticking its way through. And those fish are nose down there, tight to the bottom, and that thing comes by them and they can't help but eat it. Okay, last one. And this is my favorite way to fish in cold water. I don't want to say favorite. I like a jerkbait. But anyway, favorite way to fish on the bottom in cold water. Bottom baits. And that is a swing head. This Hog Stalker Jigs wallow head. Got to get those Hog Stalker plugs in there, guys. Speaking of which, before I get to the end of to this little dude here, Hog Stalker merch. Got the hat here, Richardson 112. You can get these from us. Comment below and let us know if you're interested in any of the hats. We've got the hats. I think they're like 20 bucks or whatever for a hat, somewhere in there. So if you're interested in a hat, let us know. We'd be more than happy to get one to you. Other thing is we have got some of the new Hog Stalker shirts. Let's see. See the logo right there, and then on the back, flip, skip, repeat. So if you're interested though, let us know. Back to the baits. Wallow head. This dude here is a killer. It's like dragging a football jig, but you have the free movement of that hook. It just gets bites. So I will throw this out, typically fishing this one on a bait caster, of course. 12-pound fluorocarbon is what I'm going to fish it on. Medium heavy rod, fairly fast tip, because when a fish gets that thing, I want that rod to really load and drive that hook point home. Because in the wintertime, that's when the bass's mouth is the toughest, the hardiest. So I really want to be able to get that hook in. So fairly stiff rod, good backbone, but a little bit of forgiveness in the tip so that rod loads up good. Several different baits you can put on this thing, anywhere from a lizard to a worm to a finesse worm to a crawl bait or whatever. Cold water, less action kills. That is just a fact. You know, the more action a bait has in cold water, the less productive that bait typically is going to be. We need it to look very natural, but we don't want a ton of appendages moving or flappers flapping or crawls a clacking or whatever you want to say. So there again, keep it simple. I go with a beaver style bait. A Berkeley Pit Boss is a great one to throw because it has a little less movement. Typically when you're text posting something, you're trying to just bury the eye of that hook. In this case, we want the eye slightly exposed so that we get a free range of motion out of that head. This #1 cold water bait that's completely overlooked. Not a lot of guys fishing that, and they are missing the boat. All right, guys. Well, that pretty much covers my cold water killers. What I like to throw whenever the weather is not so joyful, which it is not right now. But there again, I'd have to have a pickaxe, chainsaw, dynamite, something just to get through the ice right now. Thank you all for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. We will see you guys on the next one. I would say on the water, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But we will see you guys on the next video. Y'all take care.